Hi there. My name's Steph. I am from Scotland. I live right now in Glasgow. And I think I'm starting a knitting podcast channel. I just wanted to give it a go. Something that I've thought about doing for quite a long time. I think for me, knitting's been such a solitary activity. I learned from like my relatives, but through just like a series of things. Like I lived in a very small town before, and then I've been living abroad for the last 2 years. I actually just passed a year since I got back to the UK the other week, and then this year I've been doing a master's. After quite a bit of a break, I started doing a master's program. So I'm kind of finding at the moment I'm starting to have a bit more time to myself, and I'm actually been able to get back into knitting, which has been really nice. It's something like I've really missed. And I know if you're anything like me, you probably watch a bunch of knitting podcasts, and I suppose, yeah, the motivation for me to start doing this has really been trying to kind of reach out to like the knitting community, because yeah, like I say, knitting's been such a solitary activity for me, and it's something that I love watching podcasts myself. I love, oh god, so many. The Gentle Knitter podcast is like an absolute favorite. The California Tea Impossibilities, Inside Number 23, I've loved, and oh my goodness, Katie just posted like a video like doing a 20,000 subscriber, but also like 5 years since she started podcasting, which is just mad to think about. I feel like I've been there for definitely most of that. I'm not really sure when I started, when I tuned in, but yeah, such a fan. And the Little Home podcast, I love to. Stranded, yeah, there's so many. It's something that I find feels like, a way to connect with the knitting community, albeit kind of remotely. And I just love hearing people talk about their knitting, and learning about patterns that I hadn't heard about, yarns that I haven't had a chance to knit with. Yeah, I just love it. So I am by no means a fast knitter. In fact, absolutely the opposite. But like I say, I feel like I'm getting a bit more time right now. I know the big thing in the room, obviously everything that's happening in the world right now, I feel like this for me, and also like maybe for you too, is a place of like escapism. So I'm actually gonna not mention it as much as possible anyway, and because I know like whenever I hear someone talk about it, especially if I go to like a knitting podcast and you're just wanting like a bit of time away from everything, as soon as it kind of gets mentioned, I feel like my tummy like lurches a little bit. I'm like, oh god, yeah, just reminded about it. But so this should be a free zone. So yeah, a little bit about me. I feel like I've covered a little bit. I'm from Scotland. I'm from Dumfries and Galloway originally, which is like southwest Scotland. It's predominantly rural, and I'm from a pretty small town. I miss it a great deal. I really like it. It's one of those places that when I was growing up, and like particularly like in high school age, I was like, oh, couldn't wait to get away, and like the cities just seemed so much more exciting. But I feel like now that I'm a little bit older, I would just love to return. I did actually live there for a little while after graduating, and I did enjoy it. I think it's it's a funny balancing act, isn't it? But sorry, by the way, I feel like I've been wanting to record this for the longest time, and I've it's never felt like quite the right moment. So for some reason today, my hair's still a bit wet, but I was like, I think this is the time. So I decided I've gathered like all my things around me, and yeah, I don't know. Please like let me know if the lighting situation isn't so good. I know like it's a really sunny day today, and there's a lot of light coming in there, in the window, and I know my background is like mega busy. I wasn't really sure quite where to go, but I'll hopefully figure it out as I go along. I feel like I am like very much books and plants. Yeah. So something I finished really recently, which I mean, I feel like I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like I always seem to be the most productive in the summer somehow, or like really, really good at making like winter knits in the summer, like just way, way before I could ever really wear them. So this is a good example of that. Something that'll get tucked away, but it'll be so nice to pull it out later. And this is the, I don't know if it's going to show all that well, but this is the Bees berry. I'm not totally sure how to say it, but yeah, it's a berry pattern by Sari Nordland, who's like an amazing designer. I feel like she brings patterns out so regularly, and they're always just incredible. And she's brought out a couple like jumper patterns lately that I thought are really nice. And this was my first ever time knitting with mohair. I've kind of wanted to do it for a little while. And yeah, this is the first thing I've knit. Just keep juggling it around. Yeah, I love the little stock. It's just adorable. Loved it. It's really clear. It's written for 2 different weights. So the idea is you knit the fingering weight if you want something like a bit more snug, and you knit with the, I think, a sport weight, alongside mohair as well, if you want a looser, slightly bigger size. So I went for the snugger one. So this is fingering weight, wool plus a strand of mohair. I am a student, so and I returned to like being a student after quite a bit of time away from it. So I am on a budget. So I feel like before, when I was working, I was able to try like all different kinds of yarns, and it was really nice, but I'm not totally in the position to do that anymore. So yeah, I'm kind of using more just more kind of mid-price commercial yarns. So this was a strand of Drops Fable in black and a strand of Drops Kid Silk in black too, held together. And I love it. It's really nice. Like I say, it's my first time knitting with mohair, so I've just nothing to compare like this mohair to. But I just think it's so nice. I'll try and put it on. It is like a bit snug. Oh, it's my first time ever doing an I-cord bind off. That's how you end. You can see there's my edging, I think. So I feel like, yeah, it has turned out really snug. Oh, I have my hair's really thick and I kind of struggle to contain it. But yeah, you can kind of, I think it does take a little bit of playing around with to get it like quite how you'd like it to look. But it's just the cutest thing ever. I mean, it knit up really fast. I think I really worked on it and I got it done in about 3 days, I think. I just love seeing a little stalk. It's adorable. It wasn't too hard. I thought it's my first time knitting with black yarn, and I did think it would be a little bit tricky, and it was okay actually. It was all right. I think, you know, like the mohair is, because it's like mohair silk, it's really just like, you can see the strand of silk, and it's a really light color with sort of darker dyed mohair fibers around it. So it is actually fairly, I don't know if that's going to show up at all, but it is actually fairly light, albeit with the black yarn. So it's not so bad to look at. Another thing, I don't know if I can really call it a finished object. You'll maybe see a running theme where I love knitting. Knitting I really like, but anything around like finishing or seaming, weaving in ends, I really put it off, which is really bad. So yeah, this is another kind of example of that. I will like claim it as finished this time around, but it needs block very badly, and the ends need woven in. Although there's only 2, because it was like 100% wool, so I spliced it along the way, which I just love doing. Like, it's just, yeah, cuts down on weaving ends, which is like the best thing ever. So this pattern, I don't know if it's going to be a hard one to show because it's really long. It's a big like wrap scarf. It's the Guernsey Wrap by Jared Flood. So like it's like a Brooklyn tweed pattern, and yeah, it's just you repeat these like textured panels. So yeah, the sort of ribbed section definitely needs blocked out. It pulls in, but yeah, and you kind of, there's a sequence you follow. It reminded me a little bit of the Om Shawl by Andrea Mary. I knit that quite a few years ago. It was actually one of the first things I knit after like a really long like hiatus, and I loved it so much. It was my first time doing colour work, but it's similar in that it really keeps your interest. I find just with the alternating between different kind of textures, you're kind of following the pattern, but after a while you can kind of follow, you can kind of predict it. Intuitive is the word. It does get quite intuitive. And yeah, and I found it knit up quite quickly. Again, it's also written for 2 different weights, DK and worsted, I think. And I did the worsted version. So yeah, you have less repeats. And yeah, I think you still follow the same charts, but yeah, the number of times you do them differs. So yeah, I did this in again, another drops project. Drops not Lima, the other one. Hang on a second. Drops Nepal, that's the one, not Drops Lima. They're both the same weight, I think, but yeah. Yeah, Drops Nepal, and it's just in the the off-white colour. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I just wanted something really simple, but in terms of colour, like something that I could just wear with a lot of things. I have a like a green tartan jacket, like a wool jacket I like to wear in the winter, and I have a black jacket too. And I just thought this would go really nicely with them. And I think it will. Yeah, so yeah, it really needs blocked out super badly, but that's hopefully something I'll get done before I record again. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I find it's hard to motivate myself to do it, especially when I know I won't wear it anytime soon. And the weather is just been incredible lately in Glasgow and Scotland broadly, I would say. So yeah, it's been really nice. It's not actually very warm still, for all that it's really bright and sunny right now. But yeah, still it's not quite scarf weather. Those are my finished objects for the last while really. And some whips I have. This is something, I feel like if I'm counting the Guernsey wrap as a finished object, then this would technically be one too, if I'm counting the finishing is not finished. But no, it's really not. So this is the Hap Cowl by Ella Gordon, and it's just beautiful. I love the colours so much. These were taken from her actual pattern. She's knit up the pattern in 2 different colours, if that makes sense. 2 different colour palettes, and this is not the main one that's photographed. The main one that's on the front of the pattern and everything, and on the Ravelry page is a dark grey, a really nice steely charcoal grey with a mixture of blues and yellows, I think. So this was the alternate color palette, and I just loved it so much. I don't know if it's a slight running theme. I kind of really love the sort of 70s vibe of it somehow. Yeah, there's just, I feel like it's quite subtle, but it goes between this dark kind of brown. That's quite good. And then into this light grey, into this berry colour, which is so nice. And I don't know if it'll show up very well, but it's this incredible mix of it has everything in there. It's a red, blue, there's yellows as well, little spots of them. It's just amazing. And then into this mix orange, which again is a mixture of orange, red and yellow. And this pink, this pink's incredible. Yeah, it made me think of Twister lollies for some reason. I think because it's this mixture of a really pale heathered pink with little spots of green. They're barely visible really, but I don't know if you can spot it. But yeah, it's just an incredible colour. And then into this grey again, and then you repeat on the outer edge. So I still need to seam. I have all this like mess of ends. You actually use the ends to seam it. So kind of excused, I think. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get so much wear out of this. Like, it just makes me so happy to see it. I think the colours are incredible. This is the Sister Cowl by Junko Okamoto. And it was by no means like a labour of love. I wouldn't say that, but it, it did require like a lot of concentration. Yeah, to color, two-handed color work. Yeah, and it's all creased because I've had it in this little project bag for ages. It's actually it's a little like Mondine print bag by Rosaria. I love the labels on the yarn. They're just such inventive little sweet designs. So yeah, so it's been in there waiting to get seamed together. So it should be like a kind of cowl scarf. So these two ends need to be seamed together. But yeah, so this was the end I started with, and it's got this like really nice like florally like vine pattern, and then it eventually moves into this, which is that kind of I mean, yeah, I don't know, it made me think of the saltire, like the Scottish flag, because the saltire for Scotland is like a white X cross with blue background. So it made me think of that. It's it's kind of like that. It's like this kind of absent cross, and you're knitting these triangles around it. Just super duper nice. And then it moves into this kind of like berries on branches sort of pattern. It's just, yeah, ugh, it's just so nice. And it took an awful lot of time and effort. Doing colour work, two-handed colour work was something I hadn't done a great deal in the past at all. Really just smaller things and just like pieces of projects. The reason I haven't seamed it is because I'm not very confident with seaming. And I'm just so nervous. I don't know if like anyone else has this, I'm sure you do, where you've just put so much effort into something and you're so excited to wear the final result and enjoy it. That the thought of potentially not doing it great, it's just enough to stop me doing it at all. It seems for a really, really long time. So that's where I am with it. I kind of, yeah, I've looked up so many tutorials, and the fact it's 4-ply as well, it would be, it's quite small and it's quite fine, I think, seaming it. And obviously, and just even doing like 2 circles together is going to be possibly a little bit cumbersome. However, I just think it'll be, yeah, every so often I dig it out and look at it and I try and talk myself into going for it, and I hold it up and I just imagine like how it would be to wear it. It would just be, and because it's colour work, it would just be so snug, and the different patterns and things. Just imagine in the winter, it would be so nice. Yeah. I'm so close. Another thing I would like to knit is, it's another Sari Nordland pattern, and it's the Iris hat. So it's like a beanie, a folded brim beanie kind of thing. And it's holding a strand of fingering weight with a strand of mohair. I don't have the biggest stash ever, I would say, just a combination of, just being on a bit of a budget. I'm not really able to like accumulate a lot of yarn at the moment. And also, I have so much to knit through, from before. I tried to knit through a lot of my stash before I moved abroad. I was already storing a lot of stuff, in the houses of various family members, so for me to return to. And yeah, I was trying to use that as an opportunity to try and knit through as much as I could. But this was something that I bought just recently. I say recently, it's actually been a while, and I've had it like on display. I wound it up into a ball, and I just had it on display in this cabinet. So I just think it's so nice to look at. And the colors are just incredible. It's the most like just joyous mix of colors. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't have said I was like a really like pink person, but I love like warm colors and tones, and it's a really interesting mix. And I just saw it. I saw the skein in the shop, and was like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. It's by Muffy and the Squid. It's a hand dyer, I believe based in Scotland. And the colour is called Caladium, 75% superwash BFL, 25% nylon. And yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, I love that logo too. I'm so curious about like squids and octopi and cephalopods. Like I just find them fascinating, and cuttlefish. I've like watched a couple documentaries on them, and they're just amazing creatures. I feel like there's so much for me still to learn about them. So yeah, and then what I thought was I was trying to think of a way to use this that would, I don't know, I don't, yeah, like I say, I don't buy a lot of yarn these days anymore, and I don't buy a lot of hand-dyed yarn. Sadly, I would love to support more yarn dyers for sure. Like I would love to, but yeah, it's just kind of a matter of like budget and not knitting through my stash as much as fast. You know, I don't know if I can really justify buying too much of it personally. But yeah, this was back. I got this back. I started a new job that I've been doing like, alongside studying. Sorry, and I've been working in this little town just north of Glasgow called Kirkintilloch. It's a really lovely little town. It has like a canal going through it. It's very, very cute. And there's a yarn shop in Kirkintilloch that opened not all that long ago, and it's called Sealy McQueely. And I've only been a couple times. I went once like my lunch break, I think, and then they run a knit night, which is super cool. And I went to that once. And then my work days changed and it didn't align anymore, and it's not really that close to where I live. So it never really quite worked out again, which I'm really sad about because I had such a nice time. And like I say, like knitting has been such a solitary thing for me. It was really nice to experience it with other people. Yeah. So yeah, but I got this. I think the first time I went, and yeah, it's just yeah. I really recommend it as a yarn shop. And really wanted to do something that I felt would really showcase it. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of hand-dyed yarn and just want to make the most of it. So that's kind of why I've kind of sat on it for so long as well. I think trying to find just the right thing to do with it. But in the end, I kind of thought the iris hat looks really nice. It's something that I could wear a lot. I think this is like would be such a nice color for a hat too. And my idea was to hold it with a strand of mohair. So I got this drops kid silk, thinking they would kind of go together, and it might kind of. I mean, I love like how vibrant this is. I don't know if I'm like the most like vibrantly colored person myself, so I don't know. But I thought this would kind of slightly like mute it with this kind of cool mauvey purple tone. So yeah, I thought the two might be very nice together. It's something I'd like to swatch sometime soon. So I thought I'd just do like a little chatty bit at the end, just to talk a little bit about what like I've been doing in my spare time right now. I don't feel like I have all that much more of it than I did before, to be honest. I still work part-time. I can do that from home, very luckily. So that continues as normal. And my studies are still going too. I had quite a lot of my deadlines for assignments were extended, but they're now coming around. So I have to do the last bits of coursework for that. And that does take quite a lot of time and quite a lot of discipline on my part that I'm still kind of working on and developing. Yeah, so I'm getting there. But yeah, again, I think, yeah, I don't feel like I have all that much more time than I did. but I'm enjoying my spare time too and finding time to enjoy myself. I recently I took a day of annual leave. I don't know if that was maybe sounds a strange thing to do, but I did that last week. So I took the Friday off, and it was so nice. I decided I often find not so much not with my work, but with my uni work. When I'm knitting and I'm kind of enjoying myself, or I'm just having a bit of a slower morning, and I'm just doing something that isn't uni work, I kind of have that voice in the back of my head saying like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, or oh, I should be at my laptop, I should be reading and working on assignments. So I do feel like it takes away from the enjoyment a little bit. However, on this Friday, I decided I'd taken the day completely off, and it was so good. Like I kind of just decided like I wasn't going to think about anything else. It was like an actual holiday, like it's my annual leave, and I loved it so much. I started watching Pride and Prejudice on Netflix, the BBC adaptation, like the full 6 hour long episodes of it, and oh my goodness, I haven't seen it since I was in high school, and I loved it so much. I really enjoyed it. Some other things I've been enjoying. I've repotted all my plants recently. Something I did. I'm growing chili plants here. They need kind of rotated a bit for the sun, but yeah, they're going quite well. I started doing one of those yoga series, the yoga with Adrienne. I think she's like massively popular. Yeah, I started doing one of those, and the home series, and I think I've done like 11 days, but it's taken me like 4 weeks to do it. I'm kind of just doing it when I feel like I want to do it. I'll kind of do sometimes in bursts. I'll do like a few days in a row, and I'll love it, and then, yeah. I think the last thing that kind of stopped me doing it was I got my period, and I just didn't feel like it, and I'm just not gonna force it. So I'll go back to it when I'm in the mood, I'm sure. I'm also really enjoying just taking some more time to cook. Again, not that I have a bunch of extra time, but I'm trying to be, we're doing like one big shop every week. So we're trying to really plan out our meals and how I'm going to use everything that we're buying, finding that we're wasting a lot less, which is so nice. I think when you're like working or studying and you're commuting, sometimes you get home and it's really late, and it's just inconvenience, and like, or sometimes kind of reacting more to like my like things or what I want like on the night. Whereas I'm finding right now, like having it all scheduled out, I'm actually really enjoying that. I'm also kind of cooking like a day ahead. So like if I'm making like a lasagna, I'll make like the bolognese the day before and then assemble it on the day, and then cook it that day. I don't know. I'm finding that really like attractive as well. Like just having a bit less to do every day, or just kind of knowing like it's sorted for the next day, knowing like most of the work's already done. I'm really liking it. I also a little bit of like music. I really enjoying Laura Marling's new album. I don't know if anyone likes her, listens to her. It's really nice. It's a really good album. Yeah, and another thing, this maybe is a really odd little thing to tag on as well, but I've always been kind of curious about natural deodorants. I would describe myself as like an incredibly sweaty person. Yeah, I was kind of like, if there's ever been a time to trial a natural deodorant, I think it's when I'm working from home and I'm not really seeing people that much. And I was right. I got this one. It's like a Persian Lime by Ben and Anna. And it's, I don't know all that much about natural deodorants, but there seems to be a kind of, somewhere like baking soda based and somewhere in all this kind of stuff. So this is baking soda based. It has like shea butter, I think, coconut oil. Yeah, there's definitely been a bit of a learning curve with it, but I'm really liking it now. I feel like it's really been motivated more by like curiosity rather than like concerns about conventional deodorants or anything like that. but it smells incredible for one, which is good. And it's been about a week, say, that I've used it now. I do find, I mean, I'm not exerting myself massively by any means at the moment. I find at the end of some days I can still smell the fragrance. At the end of other days I can't, and then other days I don't smell great by the end of the day. But I don't smell really, really bad. I guess how I would put it. Yeah, if you're for like a working from home, sitting at the desk kind of day with like a little like walk or a little excursion, it's great. Much more than that, I don't think it would be really good work for me. Yeah, it also needs to like soften quite a bit before you can use it. I kind of otherwise it can really sort of feel like you're dragging on your skin. It's very uncomfortable. So I kind of like when I get out of the shower, I'll do my dressing gown and I'll go through the bedroom and I'll kind of like put it under a kind of like thermometer style and kind of hold it there for a little bit. And then by the time I kind of I put on like face cream or whatever, by the time I go to use it, it's softened enough and I can apply it really quite easily without any discomfort. So yeah, I don't know if that is of interest to anyone, but I thought I would add it on. It's just something I've been trying out. Oh, another thing I've been really enjoying are the Bon Appetit videos on YouTube. Like, I think, I don't think like it'll be news to that many people, but they're so good. I'm loving them so much, and especially their like from home videos that they're doing right now. They're great. I love Gourmet Makes, of course. Right, Gourmet Makes is amazing. Um, it's so interesting, like that kind of like experimental kind of side of cooking, like trying to find out how to replicate something. Yeah, I find it really interesting. The cream egg episode is one I watched just recently, which is based on like Cadbury cream eggs and trying to recreate those. I feel like Cadbury cream eggs got quite a slating in the episode by like a lot of the chefs. But I mean, I love them so much. I love Cadbury's cream eggs. That's a little bit hard to hear, but it's fine. So yeah, I think that's probably me. I really thought this first episode might be a little bit awkward or a little bit strange, but I feel like I just talked and talked. Yeah, I thought this would be a short one, but I don't think so. I don't know when I'll record again or if I'll record again. I'm not sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed this process though. Like, this has been really fun to do. And we'll see how it goes. I kind of thought if I was to do this more regularly, it might be like once every 2 weeks. Like I say, like I'm not a fast knitter, and I feel like 2 weeks might give me something. I'll have maybe something more substantial to share. Is my hope. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and love to you wherever you are. Yeah. Bye.